Recently we made some changes to the oceanic battleship. I'm sorry. It was just Jordan in the background being like...
Oh God.
But, see. I've also been...
So last week we were preparing a game for our first public showing during Transfuser. So we were there from Thursday through Sunday. Courtney and I were covering Thursday, Friday. And it's been a fairly decent experience for us and several people coming in, playing the game, testing everything out, leaving fairly helpful comments. So it's been good to get some of that feedback and start acting on that. Like a number of the portions of that have already been acted on.
It seemed that one of the biggest complaints during that time was the UI when it came to menus and shipbuilding and that, which of course we knew already as we don't have much in the way of 2D art currently, so a lot of the menus are default Unreal sort of things. So that's one of the things we're really going to have to get sorted out before EGX.
And then outside of that, it's just making things clearer. As of right now, it's not too much of an issue because we are going to be alongside our games, but obviously for future release we need everything to be self-explanatory and everything needs to be self-contained. And those are the main points that we kind of got from our time. But it's good to actually get that feedback from people who could be the player base.
So Saturday I was in the pop-up arcade with Ben. It was meant to be a fairly early start, but it was fairly quiet. But we did have a decent amount of people come take interest in the game. A lot of people were interested when we were looking at releasing it, so that was quite reassuring. Also some a lot of developers took a lot of interest as well. It was nice talking to some of the people who were there on the day.
I was on the Sunday. I didn't really get there until about nearly 12 o'clock. It wasn't very busy on the Sunday. I only really had 2 people come in and play, although one of them was a streamer who goes by the name of the Grumpy Welshman. And he had a play with his friend and he really seemed to enjoy it. We laughed about the problems that were currently in it. He gave you a few good suggestions, but all in all he seemed to really enjoy it. And he sounds like he's on board to help out any sort of testing that if we want to throw him his way, so that's pretty good. The other person was one of my old housemates who came along, who's a big fan of space games, so he was giving some ideas and his ideas on the game and how he thinks it should be. But yeah, I think they both seem to enjoy it. But yeah, it was a lot more quieter on the Sunday or anything.
This week's been a fun week. Slower start. I've been working on a few networking bits and just various paperwork. There's been a lot of paperwork coming out recently. We got the feedback from Transfuser. But yeah, so responding to a bit of that, making sure that everybody knows what they're doing, writing a few to-do lists. And then today I've been working on neating out a couple of the errors that we found during playtesting over the weekend. That would include some of the maps, not having those sort of bounding boxes at the edge, because you could actually slide, you could drift your ships off the map before today, which was a slight error. Outside of that, at the moment I'm working on streamlining all the pre-loadout UI to just be as simple as it needs to be. It needs to be a play button and then you're playing. There's no need to have complicated lobby setup things. It should just be exactly what it is. Courtney?
So last week I was focusing on the textures for the storm ships, and this week, seeing as the Oceanic Battleship model has been edited somewhat, I've gone back to the Oceanic set to make sure I can get that done and polished up like the rest of them. I also revisited some of the first tier weapons, seeing as that my work's come some way improved since I started them way back then. So I want to bring them up to speed with the newer weapons, so I'm pretty much going to be more or less redoing those from scratch, which is at the moment coming along okay.
It's been an adventure.
This week, yeah, this has been fun. Yeah, Tuesday was me getting all the positionings of the weapons, because up until now you've had floating turrets from the ships, so I've been trying to find out a good position to put weapons on, getting the scales right so the the guns aren't tiny anymore, they actually have a decent size. Yeah, I also started doing things for the fighters, because during the playtesting I noticed that the fighters were mostly useless. Another problem that's still there is that the gun is still facing in the wrong direction, so it's forever to go in front, but that's easy to fix. The main thing is that they're just not very survivable. And one of the plans we wanted to do beforehand was to include a dodge trance for the fighters. So basically they were fast enough, and it meant that things like missile launchers weren't as effective, and it basically made the low damage, high rate of fire for the Gatling gun more of a counter-pick weapon for the fighters. And then today, I was working on getting the beam trying to finally work. Before now, I've been getting it so the beam actually fires. Now I want it to fire in the right direction and do damage. And I would love to have worked on it more, but the switches in the room flipped and it turned all the computers off, and it can't be fixed until tomorrow. So that's wonderful.
So Monday and Tuesday I was working on being able to edit some of the ships you dedicated to your fleet. Got it working perfectly. And then today, with feedback from the pop-up arcade and also from the midpoint, we've decided to completely redo the ship editor and the fleet builder. So it shouldn't take too long, and it's still basically using the parts I've already made, but setting them up a bit differently, because we found that a lot of the UI was too complicated to understand. It was not conveyed what you were meant to do when you got into the ship builder. So something I'm looking at improving here. So it's mainly going to be quality of life changes, trying to look at how the player interacts with it, and also testing with seeing how people enter this and be able to build their fleet. I was making good progress until the power went off. So I'm going to probably have to see what I can get done tonight at home, and then salvage whatever's left tomorrow. But hopefully they'll be done by next week. So that's that.
Bye.